Hey there folks, welcome back to my channel today. So I wanted to give you guys just a very quick update about the travel situation if you're coming to Vietnam. So I've had some friends, I've had two great friends from the UK visit me in the last 7 days and we had a great time. But one negative of the trip was the amount of scams that occurred during their visit. So there's a couple of things I would like to share with you today guys, especially if you're traveling to Vietnam for the first time. Things that you should be aware of and a couple of things you need to look out for because unfortunately at the moment, as things are opening up after COVID, there's a real kind of rush to get money back, to recoup some of the losses that were obviously encountered during COVID. And of course my friends had a great time, I had a great time, but there's a couple of bad elements here which you have to be careful, especially as a tourist. So at the moment guys, if you fly into Tan Son Nhat International Airport, so I've flown in internationally and domestically over the last 2 months a couple of times, and I've had some friends fly in about 7 days ago, and it's absolute chaos. And one of the biggest problems you will find is getting a taxi grab outside the airport at the moment is really difficult and quite daunting if it's your first time to Vietnam. So for example, my friends, fantastic, they watched my videos, they followed my advice and they downloaded the Grab app. As soon as they came out the airport, they booked a taxi on Grab, but they were bombarded by guys who I like to call the fake Grab taxis with a screenshot of a random Grab, which they quickly throw up to you and say, grab, yes, this way. And of course, if you're new to the country, you're new to using the Grab app, you trust these people, okay, yes, we'll follow you. So one of my friends followed them into his car. He showed them the Grab that he had booked. Unfortunately, this wasn't the same guy. The guy pulls out a big calculator, taps in 495,000 dong, which is over double the price it should be. My friend then showed him the Grab app, checked the number plate, it didn't match. The driver got very aggressive. My friend got out of the car. Again, the driver started swearing at him, getting more aggressive. Eventually, he was able to get a proper taxi. I think he used Vinasun in the end, or Mylin. So be very careful of that guys. At the airport at the moment there's a real hustle. There's a lot of fake Grab drivers around, a lot of fake taxis, well not fake taxis but not legitimate taxis should I say. So be very careful. I experienced it myself a couple of weeks ago when I flew back in from Thailand, but obviously I live here so I'm aware of these type of scams, but it was a real hassle. I literally had to wade through 5 or 6 people putting their phone in my face saying grab, and these are not Grab drivers. They are drivers who will try and get you into their car and then double or even triple charge you. So be aware of that guys. If you are going to get a Grab at the airport, you have to walk to the parking lot, which is across from arrivals, and they've just banned taxis from the 3rd floor upwards. Sorry, Grab ride-hailing services like Grab from the 3rd floor upwards, so you can only get a Grab now on the 1st or 2nd floor of the parking lot. But to be honest guys, I would recommend that if you're coming into the country now, you pay that just a little bit more, get a ticket for a taxi at the counter in the airport. As you walk out the airport, there's people there selling tickets, and you take that then to a taxi driver outside. It's about 60 or 70,000 more, but I think it's probably worth it. Or just queue up outside for the white Mylin or the green Vinasun taxi. And again, these guys only a little bit more than Grab, to be honest. And I think at the moment, especially, I definitely recommend you take this option because it's, especially after a 10, 15, even 20-hour flight, it's you don't want that hassle. So my friends were able to book some great tours, paying between $20 and $50 for a half-day tour to the Mekong. They also did the scooter tour around the city, which was again not too expensive. And they followed my advice on booking tours when they came to Vietnam, so they didn't get ripped off. They were able to go and see the tour agent and see what was on offer and physically, see the price list and discuss with them the price, and they didn't have any issues. But walking around District 1, especially the Ben Tan market area, one of my friends was accosted by the coconut scam guy. So this is quite an amusing one. So a guy will be carrying 5 or 6 coconuts on a stick over his shoulder. He will then pretend to fall in the middle of the road. So of course your reaction is to help him and grab the stick. So you grab the stick and then the guy encourages you to take a photo. So encourage my other friend, take a photo. So of course it's really cool. You got all this stick with all the coconuts, take a photo. And of course then once you've taken that photo, he will ask for money, which is quite a lot. A coconut should cost around 10 to 15,000 dong, but this guy will charge 120, 150,000, and they unfortunately get quite aggressive if you refuse them. So I would watch out for that one, especially around Independence Palace area and the Bentan market area. My other friend, who has great shoes, kept getting accosted by the shoe shine guy. So every time he stepped out of his apartment, there was a guy pointing at his shoes. It's broken. What's wrong with his shoes? Something wrong, something wrong, something stuck. Of course, what happens is you immediately look, you take off your shoe, the guy sprays some kind of stuff on it, gives it a little kind of polish, or does something, or maybe does nothing, gives your shoe back, and then demands 150, 200, 300,000 dong. And again, if you refuse, if you try and argue, they can get a little bit aggressive, which is unpleasant, and you don't want that. So I would advise, guys, if anyone comes up to you with a kind of shoe polishing or shining kit, even if they're very friendly, and even if you do have a problem with your shoe, I recommend you don't continue. You just say no thank you and carry on. The other issue that we encountered as a group was overcharging. So obviously, as a tourist, the Boi Vien area is it's worth going to once just to kind of immerse yourself in the noise and the chaos and the craziness. You know, it's a sight to behold, and yeah, it's worth going there just to walk through, maybe have one or two beers. But unfortunately for us, when we went to Boi Vien, I haven't been there to a bar probably for about 2.5 years. But if I get people visiting me, I always like to show them, you know, the variation in the city, the kind of places that you have. But we were hugely overcharged at one bar. I think the bill was around 800,000 for 6 bottles of Heineken. It's like over $30 for 6 bottles of Heineken. It shouldn't be that much, but of course, again, if you're new to the country, you don't know this, you probably have no idea the prices. You shouldn't be paying more than 30 or 40,000 dong for one bottle of Heineken or Tiger. So they tried to triple charge us there. So be wary of that, guys. If you go to the Boi Vien area, especially at the moment, be very, very wary of having spurious charges added to your bill. The same goes for other areas like Lei Tan Ton, where you've got the Japanese sort of themed area. Again, these bars are pretty desperate. They've been closed for a very long time. Obviously, it doesn't make it right to overcharge tourists, and you know, it's terrible because it just gives them a bad reputation. But it is happening quite frequently at the moment, so I would be very, very wary. Only go to more reputable bars that have been recommended to you by friends or local people, and triple check your bills. If there are errors there, unfortunately, don't expect it to be reduced. People can become aggressive, and you know, it's not worth it for a few dollars getting into some sort of situation that's not very pleasant, but just rack it up to experience. So I just wanted to give you a quick update, guys. If you're thinking of coming to Vietnam, I'm getting a lot of queries about visas, a lot of queries about the travel situation, and I can see living here the number of tourists going up every day pretty much. But just be wary that post-COVID businesses are opening now, which have been closed for a very, very, very long time, and a lot of these businesses are really struggling, and unfortunately some of them giving into temptation to maybe be a little bit dishonest and overcharge. But this is not every business, okay? And I would like to add, my friends and I had a fantastic time in Vietnam. They love Vietnam. One of them, it was his first time, and he had a great time. I'm sure you'll be coming back again soon. So just to make you generally aware, guys, that there is some issues at the moment, especially at the airport. So be very careful if you're coming out of the airport about overcharging and dodgy taxis. People have been asking me about visa on arrival. That's not available for tourist visas, so there's no visa on arrival for tourist visas. The only visas that you can collect at the immigration counter on arrival at Vietnam are business visas and NGO type visas, which are NN1, 2 and 3. And you can get 3, 6, 12-month visas on arrival, but None of these at the moment are tourist visas. They are business visas that you need a sponsorship for, or NGO visas, which you also need sponsorship from a legitimate body to obtain. Okay folks, thanks for watching. I hope the information's been useful and will help you to avoid any potential pitfalls on your holiday or visit to Vietnam. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Plenty of cool stuff, updates to come. Have a great day folks. See you all later.